There he is, my science hero Johannes Kepler, looking proudly over the square where he took his first steps into the world. We are in Weil, where Johannes Kepler was born on 2:30 in the afternoon of December 27, 1571. The house was rebuilt after being burned down in the aftermath of the 30 Years' War. That devastating conflict that was going to make Kepler's life very difficult. And here it is. Even in 1571, 47 years before that war started, religious tensions were already growing. But here in the imperial Freistaat Weil, there was still some mutual tolerance. It had a majority Catholic population and no Lutheran activities were allowed. Even so, although Kepler's family was solid Lutheran, his father Sebald was mayor of the city and Johannes was baptized here in the Peter and Paul Catholic Church. He was named Johannes. December 27 is the name day of the Apostle John, both for Lutherans and Catholics. Kepler later wrote about his christening here. Qui primo statim in fiteliminus apparentibus in ecclesiam catholicam ilatus sacro lavacro aspersus. I was immediately brought into the Catholic Church by my parents at the threshold of life, sprinkled with sacred water. Maybe here. Father Heinrich and Mother Katharina got married on May 16 the same year. The brilliant mathematician and devout Christian Johannes Kepler concluded later that he was conceived on May 17 and born prematurely. His frail constitution would be consistent with that conclusion, but a hasty forced marriage would also be consistent with the characters of his parents. We leave it there. Aside from religious tensions, Kepler was not born in a particularly warm nest. We know this because Kepler was fond of writing and freely shared his thoughts in letters and books, including about his family members. About his father, an immoral, rough and quarrelsome soldier. His mother, small, garrulous, quarrelsome and generally unpleasant. Stubborn, but not as stubborn as his father and grandfather. His grandmother, a restless, impetuous liar. He was quite forgiving though, because he blamed the unfortunate constellation of the stars. I think I need to have a chat with my children. They don't believe in astrology. Back to Weil. Just imagine the daily atmosphere in that house. In fact, if I may put on my amateur psychologist hat, this chaotic, discordant atmosphere may well have ignited the lifelong quest of Johannes Kepler for harmony. Initially, he was focused on God through the Church as the source of harmony, but, well, there were too many religious sources all fighting to claim the one and only God, often with futile arguments. So he moved over to seek harmony in God's creation, and most particularly his greatest creation, the universe.
I have talked to people. I am out of
2 years later, Katharina gave birth to another son, Heinrich. The characteristics of his father came to full expression when he decided in 1574, Kepler was 2 years old, to leave the house, his wife and his 2 children to go fight as a mercenary in my home country. We were fighting a liberation war against the Spanish troops that occupied part of the Netherlands. It was also a Protestants versus Catholics fight. To the dismay of the Lutheran family, Heinrich fought on the side of the Catholic Spanish. It is not known exactly where he fought, and that leaves us some room for speculation. A major event in 1574 was the siege of the city of Leiden. Beam me up! And here at Lammenschans was one of the Spanish strongholds. Nothing remains today except the knowledge of its existence. In September, a successful counterattack was organized by Willem of Orange, and this Spanish stronghold was the last one that saw the Spanish troops leave on October 3, and Heinrich Kepler may just have been one of them. He didn't go home though. But in the following year, 1575, his wife Katharina also left Weil in search for her husband, leaving Johannes to the care, or lack of care, of his grandparents. I really wonder how you can hope to find your mercenary husband in the chaos of that ongoing conflict. But somehow she found him, and together they came back to Weil in 1576. In their absence, Johannes caught smallpox. Fortunately, it was a mild variant that was not fatal, but it severely impaired his eyesight and crippled his hand for the remainder of his days. And that is how his parents found their 4-year-old son when they returned home. I guess the Spanish did pay Father Heinrich well, or that he was a successful plunderer, because soon thereafter they bought a house in nearby Leonberg, a convenient 15 kilometers away from that packed house, and in the Lutheran Duchy of Württemberg. I don't know exactly how the family relocated with their belongings, but I am pretty sure 1 or 2 horsepower bioengines were involved. Let's go to Leonberg. A fresh start for Johannes. Stay tuned.